Hello. Is it going? Yes, it's going. So if you missed this is part 3. So if you missed parts 1 and 2, then go watch those. I'll leave them linked down there, so you can go watch those. Then come here. So this is part 3, picking up where I left off with Colin. So I don't know how we should start. Start this. I guess. So I ended it with that stupid other person, and I still had a month and a half or 2 months left of my Catholic Match subscription. So I was like, oh, let me just go back on there, see what else is out there, because maybe I don't want to waste my money. You know, I paid for this. I might as well like get my money's worth. So I went back on there, and then like a few days later, he messaged me, and he was like,
hey, do you want to go?
Yeah. And I was like, I already had plans with somebody else, because there was this other guy who was like, hey, do you want to be my +1 for this Broadway show this Sunday? And I was like, ah. But then I said yes, because I was like, YOLO. And then he had messaged me after that, so I already had plans for that Sunday. So I was like, because I read his profile, and I was like, wow, like, I need to meet this man, because he is everything that I am looking for. So I was really sad that I had to say no, because I really wanted to meet him, but I was like, I hope he understands, and I hope we can find a day that works for us to actually meet, because I was like, I definitely need to meet him. So we kept messaging, because I told him, I was like, I can't this weekend, but definitely another time. I was like, for sure, like, definitely another time. So we kept messaging for like another few days, and then I had an extra ticket to a music festival. So I thought Mikey was gonna come with me, but it was right before Thanksgiving, and Mikey had already left to go up to Virginia with my mom, so he wasn't here. So I was like, crap, I have an extra ticket, like, who am I gonna take? And I was like, I'm gonna invite him. So I invited him, and he said yes. Well, obviously he said yes, because he's here now. So,
no, I said no, and this is just a hallucination.
It's all a dream.
It's all a dream.
He thinks he's in a dream still.
So right before I drove down from Orlando, I was right after church. I was kind of exhausted that day, and I just kind of fell asleep when I got back from church. And I woke up with literally maybe minutes to spare to leave and make it on time to the date. And I was like, kind of like, you know, the flood of adrenaline. You just woke up and you know you gotta go like immediately. So sometimes, because of how well things have gone and how different it is and how amazing it is in that different way, I still think I might be asleep, and I might still be.
It's all a dream.
November 24th.
It's still November 24th.
At like 1 p.m. and I'm asleep in my bed. Maybe it's like 7
like,
and
oh
you're
no,
like,
I missed the date.
I know. Like I'm just gonna wake up and it's gonna be like midnight and you're gonna be like, oh, this asshole didn't show up.
Like, wow, I had such high hopes. No, but he came, he showed up. We actually, okay, so I got there, we had planned to meet at, was it 3?
At 3,
I think it was 3. So we had planned to meet at 3, but I got there at like 2:45 and I was like, oh, I'm early. I'm just gonna like sit in my car. But then I literally pulled into the spot and I was like chilling in my car, just like listening to music because I was waiting. And then he texted me and he's like, I'm early. And I was like, me too. So I was like, oh good, we can just go in now. So I walked to the front entrance and he was like, I'm here. And I was like, looking around, I was like, unless you look completely different from your pictures, like I don't see you, like where are you? And he's like, I'm by gate 1. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't see any sign that he went to the wrong place. Yeah. But then he came and he found me.
Then I like looked, I heard music in the distance and I saw the place that was where the music was happening. I was like, oh, I'm dumb. Like, why didn't I follow
the big theater, the big amphitheater
area? I was like, okay. I read it was like, oh, she's here. She's in a different location. I was like,
yeah, I was like, I just went through the metal detectors.
I just need to go over there. Okay.
Where's that?
Like, what metal detectors? I'm so confused.
Like, where are you? So I was just standing there waiting, and I was like, I wasn't really that nervous. I mean, I was a little bit, obviously, because you're like nervous before a date. But I was way more excited because I was like, the only thing I was nervous about is if like he would have been like super like awkward and like I was like, oh no, what if he's not fun to be around? Like, what, I'm gonna be stuck at this concert for. No, I wasn't really thinking that. I was more thinking just like
stuck with this weirdo.
No, I would just.
What do I do?
No, but that's the thing. Like, if you were weird, it still would have been like the music, the show.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been fine because it would have been like,
Well,
we had
see-
something to distract. It wouldn't be just like sitting there at dinner looking at each other and being like,
what do I say?
okay. It
No,
was
you
like,
see, you
there
would have
was
gone to the
music and-
bathroom like you did, and then just gone and sat somewhere else.
oh my gosh, I never would have done that. Oh, I could not. I would never do that.
I was only a little nervous when you got up and you went to I was like, well, I hope she comes back.
No, I'm pretty sure I went to go
I'm
text my
enjoying
sisters.
myself so
I went to go
far.
text my sisters and I was like, guys, I'm pretty sure I found my future husband. Like, after our first date. So I was standing there waiting for him. I was like looking around, like standing. I was like, okay, where is he? Like, I hope he's, I don't know. And then, cause you never know, like you meet somebody you see somebody online, you're like, they could be completely different than you don't know.
You could
So I was just
invent
like,
a persona.
but we were a
just
public
go
place.
there.
Like, I always make sure to meet in a public place, and I drive myself. I don't ever like, yeah. So, I was standing there waiting, and then like, he was like, oh, I'm coming now, or I'm coming through now. So I like looked over and I saw him like walking, and he like, I think you like put your arms up or something, or no, I don't know what. Yeah, and I was just like the second our eyes met, I was just like, yep, like, that's him. Like,
yeah, for me. It was
so weird.
About as close as I've ever been to a theophany, which, if people don't know,
They
that's when
probably don't
God
know.
speaks to you. You hear like the interior locutions, like says like it's the voice of God. I was like, I looked at her. It was almost like I heard, that's her. That's her, buddy. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
This is the beginning of the rest of your life. And I was very happy.
Yeah, it was a crazy moment. It was like, it felt like a dream, honestly. Like, we were dreaming. We were both dreaming. I was like, wow, like,
That's why I still think
I've
of
never,
dreams sometimes.
ever had any sort of feelings like that after meeting anybody. Like,
Yeah.
even, like, especially not on a first date. Like, normally on first dates, I'm like, okay, trying to figure out,
that
like,
person
do I
out.
like them? Like, how are they? All this stuff. But with him, I was just like, yeah, everything's fine. Like, I'm not one to want to kiss a person on a first date, but I was like, if he kisses me, like, I'll do it. Like,
He's a
sure.
gentleman.
He didn't,
withheld.
but
I
second
wanted
date.
to. Second date though.
But I was like, yeah, if he wants to hold my hand while we walk back to the car, I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, normally I'd be like, I wouldn't want that. I'd be like doing things
It's
to
like
make
we're in
it
the parking
not
lot,
possible.
You know, who knows?
Yeah, and we were like
There's
standing there
fewer people
talking after we
around.
got out we actually ended up parking near each other.
Yeah.
So we were standing there talking for a little bit, and I was like, man, I don't want this night to end. I was just driving home with a huge smile on my face the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so happy. The next
honestly,
morning,
when we were walking back to the cars, I was nervous if you saw my car because
I don't think I even saw it. You like pointed. You pointed out, like, oh, it's over there, and I didn't.
Corolla. I was
I
like,
don't
she's
care
gonna
what
look
kind
at
of
it
car
and be
you
like,
drive.
this guy, he's broke.
I am not like that at
I
all.
know. Well, I know that now.
Do you have anything else to say?
Well,
The first date, or like any thoughts?
alright, so yeah, other thoughts for first date. Well, I guess this is before first date. I remember when I messaged you and I said, like, oh, you want to do brunch in church or something like that, and you said, like, not today, but sometime. I remember being just a hair nervous of, like, because I always heard that as I'm not interested at all. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's usually how that comes off, is like, yeah, I mean, no, go away. That's usually how that sounds when you say, like, another time. But something came over me and I was like, no, she means it. I can tell. Something I could tell. I was like, all right, cool. And I wasn't, like, nervous about that at all the entire week. And then you messaged me, like, 2 days later, like, hey, you want to go to this concert? And I'm usually a very leery kind of guy about that kind of thing.
You said yes, though, pretty immediately.
But I was like, but yeah.
almost
like,
immediately.
I was like,
I was like,
it was like, you know, because I remember having the same experience reading your profile and be like, this is a pleasant change of pace. Like, okay. And, like, you messaged me back really quickly and everything, and I was just like, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitive. I gotta meet this woman.
Yes.
I must meet this woman.
Yeah, I was like, just because a lot of guys on their profile, they won't answer all the questions, they won't go through all the things, and then there's a section where it's like, which of the church teachings do you agree with or something? And some people leave some off. They're like, I don't agree with these church teachings,
Oh,
and I'm like,
gosh.
how can you not agree with this kind of, like, that's like the basic, like.
At least 70% of the profiles I've seen, which makes a lot of sense. They're just like, I agree with some, a lot of them are most, and some of them, or some of the some. And I've seen some where I agree with nothing. I'm like,
I'm
you're
like,
on the
why are you
wrong-
on Catholic Match if you're not even
Go
Catholic?
on
If you don't
Tinder
even
or Plenty of
believe
Fish
that-
or
there's Plenty of Fish
some
is a
dumb
thing.
thing. Like, go. You're
Go somewhere else, please.
wrong marketplace, lady. Go away.
Lady.
Parking up the wrong tree.
Okay, what do we have anything else surrounding our first
Our first date.
date?
Oh, and I remember thinking I might have been had. Like when you messaged me, you're like, I'm here, and I was there. I thought I was there.
Oh, you thought.
And I was like, I don't see her. Like, what gives? It took me like 2 seconds to realize, like, no, she's at the correct entrance location.
I was like, where are you? He was like, I'm here, and I was looking around. I was like, no, you're not. Like, are you what? I was like, maybe he's on the other side. Maybe he's over there. Like, did he already go in? Like, should I go in? No, but I had the ticket, so how would you get in?
I know. I was just like, wait. So I drove all this way for, and then you're like, no, I'm over by the metal detectors. I was like,
and there was like this big blow up like beer can, and there
and I
was
looked
the box
over the
office.
distance.
I was like, I'm by
I was
the
like,
box office. Like, I don't know.
oh, okay, stop running to conclusions, Colin. You read her profile. She's an amazing woman. She wouldn't that.
Never. I would never.
Not even if you were like not looking forward to it at all. Like, you'd been like okay, like this is where I'm.
I
at.
still, yeah, because I've gone on dates where I've not been that excited. I've been like, okay, like I'm just gonna go meet you because you seem like you're a good guy, and
Yeah.
I want to give you a chance.
Good guy.
But like with him, I was like, I need to meet. Like he was the only one person that I was like, I need to meet this man. Like, I was like, yes, I need to. Like,
Making me blush over here.
but yeah, we pretty much like we were messaging like every single day. Like since the first message, we've pretty much messaged like every single
That was
day.
the 14th of November. I remember correctly. If memory suits me.
Yeah.
Serves me.
So we had our first date was November 24th, and then I was going up to Virginia for Thanksgiving. I left on that Tuesday, I think.
And we're messaging you that entire time, like, oh, she's actually responding. Like, she said she had a good time, and then she's actually responding to me a lot.
So I think I was going to
So
talk
she
about
actually did have a good time.
the morning after our first date. It was a Monday. I popped awake at like 6:45 in the morning. I'm never awake that early. My alarm was set for probably like 7:30 or 8 or something. I like popped awake and I was like alert and like smiling, like happy. I'm like, it's a Monday morning at 6:45. Why am I so happy right now? Like I just couldn't stop smiling like that whole morning. I'm like started working and I'm just like so like smiling. I was like, what is going on with me right now? Like, who am I? Who am I? Yeah.
It's because you're happy. You met someone.
So happy.
I was happy
Never
too.
been happier in my
I'm
entire
not really
life.
happy at my job, but then that Monday morning I was like I woke up easy. Like it usually takes me like, a good 15-30 minutes of rolling around to try and get myself to wake up.
Yeah.
Just waking up and being like, it's gonna be a good day.
So yeah, it was while I was in Virginia for Thanksgiving. I forget what we were talking about, but I was like, oh, so when's our second date gonna be or something? Or I was like,
Yeah.
how did that, I can't remember how that came about.
I could probably pull up
I mean,
those
yeah,
messages on my whole phone.
Yeah, but I don't remember what we were talking about, but I was like, so when's our second date gonna be or something, or I don't know, but we started making a lot of plans.
Oh yeah, because we had already talked about what we were going to be doing on our second date. We were already talking about doing the thing that we wound up doing on our second date. Just making the apple pies.
No, that was our third date.
No, that was our third date. Never mind.
Second date was
we had already
went
talked
to-
about that though.
Yes,
And
we did talk about
And we
it.
had talked about the Armature Works. And already on our first date we had talked about that.
We did.
And we just hadn't established that we were going to be doing it on a
We just
specific
didn't
date.
know when. Yeah, we didn't know when it was. But we were both
We were
like,
like, oh, I'm
yes,
free
there's
this-
for
was it this
sure
next
going to
Thursday?
be
I was like,
a
all right.
second date, and there's been many more than
Yes.
that. Yeah, clearly, I mean, we're here. So 4 months later.
The week before last, I was here every day except for Thursday.
He lives in Orlando, by the way. Oh yeah, because I made all those videos on my way to go to his house.
Yeah.
So he comes from Orlando to see me in Tampa with traffic on I-4. So, and I've never had a guy put that much effort into, like, I've always been the one who has to go I have to make the plans, or I have to be like, hey, do you want to hang out, or hey, do you want to do this, or I have to go to their house, or I have to go to them, or I have to plan everything. But like he comes to me and I'm just like, what? Like,
Worth it.
his motto, worth it.
It's my motto. It's my new mantra. Worth it.
it.
It's worth it.
I'm like, you seriously want to come here every day
Yeah.
except for one day, like back and forth from Orlando, just like an hour and a half
Just
each
do it.
way?
Sleeping like 2 or 3 hours a night.
What? Crazy.
It's fun.
It's fun.
I start to enjoy the delirium. No. It's funny to me because like I almost surprise myself with how much I'm doing, because it's like traffic is one of those things that really gets under my skin sometimes. But like, you know, I-4 takes me an hour 45, 2 hours to get here, and I'm like, traffic. And then I pull in the driveway and I tell her I'm here, and she comes out, and it just evaporates, and I don't care. Like, it's like it doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, it's traffic, and it is what it is.
Like the whole world,
Yeah.
all the problems. As soon as we hug, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is how it's supposed to be. Nothing else matters.
I'm home.
I'm home.
I'm home. So, but yeah.
So our second date was the week after Thanksgiving, because I was
was
gone
that-
until the Sunday,
It was
December.
that Thursday.
Oh, actually, I didn't get back Sunday. I came. That's a whole
Yeah,
other story.
that's a whole different story.
There was I should tell that story one day. One day.
You should have been vlogging.
Oh, I should have. Oh. Anyway.
Should could woulda.
Yeah. Oh well.
Like,
So I came back December. It was like December 2nd or something. Or no. Yeah. Because our second date was December 5th.
yes.
Yes. It was a Thursday.
It was the 5th. We were
So that
Armature
week, it was the
Works.
Thursday of that week, and we went to Armature Works, a place in Tampa. They have like a couple little shops and restaurants, and we went to this rooftop bar, had a couple drinks, and then walked along the river walk. So that was really nice. That's when we had our first kiss at the end of that date.
We walked the river walk,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about it at certain points when we were walking river walk, but I was like, oh, there's people like, you know, there's some weirdos floating around, and
Some weirdos floating around.
so basically we got to the car,
Yeah, he
And we
walked into
hugged.
my car.
and it was a very passionate hug, I guess you'd say. It was
It was just like
you
a
were hugging me
nice-
like you meant it,
Yeah.
and I hugged
I
you
did
back
mean
like I
it.
meant it, and I was like,
It's about to happen.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I should probably kiss her right about now. I've been waiting long enough. I've been gentleman quota. You're done. You just go ahead and kiss her.
So the way he remembers it differently, I guess. I don't know. So we were hugging, and then we like pulled apart, and I looked into his eyes, and then I remember him like grabbing the back of my neck and like pulling me in for a kiss. I was like, ooh, like okay, like it wasn't like a weird thing. It was like I liked it, but wait.
Well, I remember. Okay, so I remember that part.
Oh,
like,
you do
I
remember
did.
that? Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't like that was just like an initiatory.
It wasn't
kiss.
like a.
It wasn't the full
Oh,
kiss.
okay.
But you pulled me
it's
back
just
in
the-
for like the full
for
kiss,
more.
and I was like, all right, and then said goodnight, and I was walking back to my car, and I was doing like a little victory dance. You probably, I guess you didn't see it. And
I
I
got
was
into
just
my
like,
car,
yes!
and I was just like, I should have been watching you. That would have been really funny.
Like pumping my
I would've
fist, trying to
laughed
be
so
like
hard.
subtle about it, but I couldn't contain myself. I was just like,
I got into my
skipping
car, and I
along,
was just
yes!
like smiling. I was like, I'm so happy right now.
Best first kiss of my life.
Yes. Yeah. Last first kiss.
Last first kiss.
Yeah, so that was our second date. But our third date was 2 days later,
Yes.
right? Yeah, that Saturday.
It was that Saturday.
That Saturday.
Cool. And
We are continuing.
mic
with
check.
our-
1, 2, 3.
I think we left off at we were about to.
We were talking about our third date. Yeah.
We didn't. Yeah. Okay. So
We
our
were
third
about
date,
to.
Yes.
I brought it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lost my sunglasses.
Live on camera. Dropped my
Okay, I'll just
sunglasses.
hold them in my hand. So, 2 days after our second date was our third date, where we were doing a pie bake-off
Yes.
and drinking beer.
And drinking beer.
Because what else would you
And
do?
decorating for
And
Christmas.
decorating my Christmas.
And drinking.
So I was like, we had to set up our Christmas tree. And I was like, we need something to do while the pies are baking. So I was like, hey, do you want to help me
I
put
was
up our
like,
Christmas
yes.
tree?
Of course.
He was like, yes. So it was, yeah, sorry, I'm just adjusting
You're good.
myself.
You're good. Just double checking.
So he came to my house, and that was his first time meeting Princeton too.
Yes,
So
and that
we met
was
at a park.
interesting.
Yeah, it's a. It was. I mean, he liked.
He was pretty chill, pretty quick,
was
in my opinion, for everything he told me.
I was not expecting him to be that chill that quick. So yeah, it was. It was
all good.
So he came to my house. Well, we met at a park first,
Yes.
and that's where he met Princeton. We just kind of walked a little bit. And
Felt like it was more natural for him to meet me outside of his territory.
Not in the house, because if he's in the house, then he's gonna.
He'd be like, "Oh, being invaded."
More.
Yeah, he'd be less familiar with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the sun's like, but we have to walk that way. That's the
I
problem.
mean,
oh well, it's
whatever.
fine. Just deal. Sorry
They'll
about
deal
the
with it.
sun. Sorry, I'll just.
you can deal.
Um.
We're all adults here.
It's fine. So
we made our pies.
Yeah.
We had differing
he made
recipes.
Yes.
I had more of like
His was more tart. Mine was more
an
sweet.
oatmeal
And his
crumble
the
crust.
the crumble crust.
And it was more of a tart.
But you left out a key ingredient.
I left out a key ingredient. So I was making the pie and I forgot
Finished
the vanilla.
He put it all in the pie. He was putting the topping on the
It was my greatest
crust on top. He's
failure.
like,
My
vanilla.
greatest failure.
I was like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
And it has forever tainted your image of me as a man,
No, not
hasn't
at
it?
all.
Hasn't it?
Not at all.
The vanilla.
Dang vanilla.
Damn vanilla. All right, so vanilla.
No, you put pie toast.
So we had.
Still tasted good.
It was It was pretty good. I,
Yeah,
I
mine's
could
better,
tell.
but-
I could tell it had the vanilla in it. Yes, yours went out by. Well, mine was an 8, yours a 9. I think that's what your mom said.
Yeah, I think so. But then she had yours again the next day, and she's like, it's better the second day. So she put it up to a 9.
I
So
guess
they were
you
tied.
just needed to
They were
settle
tied.
for a bit, I guess.
But
yeah, so that was fun.
the beer. So
The beer.
I went to Costa Rica during my spring break in college. I wanted him to try Imperial, which is a beer from Costa Rica. But I went to the Total Wine by my house. They didn't have it. I was so sad. And I told him, I was like, oh, they don't have the beer anywhere. I couldn't find it, so I just bought Blue Moon instead, because I was like, Blue Moon. That was another thing about our first date.
Yeah. We both got Blue Moon.
Yes, I ordered a Blue Moon, and he's like, oh, same for me. And I was like, oh, yes, Blue Moon's my favorite.
He likes Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, yes.
Oh.
Anyway.
I also like some other beers that are a little less palatable, but Blue Moon's
Blue
good
Moon
though.
is the best, so as long as you
Definitely,
like that.
definitely a very safe go-to.
So, the Imperial.
Imperial,
So-
yes.
So I
You told
him
me
I was
about
really
that.
sad. And then so on his way over, he's like, oh, there's traffic. It's going to take me longer.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang it.
I kind of
He's
feigned
like, oh, there's
extra
gonna be like
traffic.
20 extra minutes. And I was like, no. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's fine.
So I feigned extra traffic because I was like, she likes Imperial, so I'm gonna get her Imperial. I found the Brandon wines.
Can you hold it like straight?
Whatever. I mean,
I'm barely in it. Hello.
sorry. Whatever. It's better.
That's better. Well, a little, yeah.
So I find the what was it? The wine, Total Wine,
Total Wine.
in Brandon had it. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be a little extra traffic. Like 15 minutes later than I thought. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just making a detour to get Imperial for her. I was like, I just needed to make her day.
He showed up and he like
Showed up and I
"Look
was
what
like,
got." And I was
look
like,
what I got.
What? I was like, what did you get?
I was like, I might have lied about the traffic, but I got you something. I hope you
I
like
was
it.
so happy. I was like,
But yeah, so that was fun. Oh, and side note, both the second and third date, I was nursing some really ridiculous tooth pain. So I was like, I was nervous that that I wouldn't have like a smile on my face or something, but I guess I did. So, yeah, so that was date 3.
yes. There's something else I was gonna say about it. Oh, I was waiting. I thought he was gonna ask me to be his girlfriend on the third date. I was waiting for it. I was like, okay.
Because you
it
started
seems
talking like, oh, other guys weren't as committal. I was like, yeah, I mean, I thought I kind of made myself clear, but I guess because my head was
I knew
on my teeth.
Yeah.
So
But
I wasn't.
I knew.
I wasn't thinking purely
I knew the
clearly.
direction we were headed in, but I just thought, it's nice to just have it stated out loud. I knew that that's where it was.
Yeah.
That's what was going to happen. But I just wanted to be sure. I mean, I was sure, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to
make it
to be
official.
stated clearly,
Yeah.
like this is what's happening. Because
Yeah.
you know, with my
It
past,
is a gesture that you would make in a relationship where you actually care. So
yeah. So I was just like waiting for him to be like, sometime during our third date, be like, hey, like let's make this official. Like,
I remember the
waiting
morning
for it.
after the third date, I messaged her and I'm like, would you be
Yeah,
at all upset if, say, I wanted to go ahead and make this Facebook official?
No, we were talking about something. I don't remember what we were talking about, but you were like, hold on, we're about to cross the street. It's not that big.
Alright, so, car.
Mikey.
What's up, Mikey?
What are you guys doing?
We're telling our story, okay? Everybody wants to know.
Everyone wants, the world needs to know. This is history.
So,
right.
I forgot where we left off. Yeah.
Yes, us
So
making
the
it
next
official.
day we were talking, and then he was like, so I think now is a good time, or no, he was like, I think it's appropriate, or how did you, I can't remember how you put it.
No,
You were
I-
like,
I'm pretty sure I can pull up the text message. I was like, would you be upset?
or would you be opposed to
Would you be
or no.
opposed to making this Facebook
And I was
official?
like, heck no, like, yeah, I thought you were gonna ask me yesterday.
I was like, all right, cool.
Like,
And
hello.
this is like, okay.
So yeah, so then it was December 8th.
Yes. No.
December 8th.
Was it?
Was when we made it Facebook.
No, yeah.
I remember it was December 8th.
I just go by our first date. That's when it started.
But yeah, November 24th is when, because that's where we both knew.
yeah,
We were like,
it's like,
yeah,
this is it.
this is
So,
it. So yeah. I don't even remember what our fourth date was.
I have it written down somewhere. So
We've been on a lot. I mean, those are like, that's like the build up to like
Yeah.
it actually.
That was like,
we've done
yeah,
a lot of. Pretty much after that, we started making like a lot of plans.
Yes.
We're like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Like
from that point on, I was in
Because normally you're
Tampa
hesitant, you don't really want to plan things.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you're not sure
at
where
least
it's headed.
twice
like,
a week
is
and the
this-
weekend.
You're like, is this gonna go anywhere? Like, are we still gonna be? But we were like, nope. Like 3 weeks from now, we're gonna go to this concert, and then like 2 weeks from now, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. Making all these plans. So many plans. Oh, the ugly sweater party.
The ugly
You came
was
to the
that?
ugly sweater party with
That
me.
was number 4. Wasn't it?
December 14th. No, we did something before that. Too.
No. Before, I think before that, you just kind of came over. Was that when you did?
12th. The first time
you
I said
came-
I love you.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like there was something in between there, though. No, I guess there wasn't. That Sunday, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was the
'cause
next.
that
So wait,
was-
was it 4 days after? Did we not do anything on?
No, yeah, because that
I
was
guess we
like Monday,
didn't,
Tuesday,
yeah.
Wednesday. We didn't do anything the beginning of the week, so. But like after that point, it was basically twice a week. I was over here.
Yeah, pretty much after that.
And then it was like twice a week, and then the weekend as well. Basically 3 times a week. It's just getting
It's
more
just-
and more
yeah.
and more.
Yep.
It's like, hey,
You started coming to
I
like
just wanna
trivia,
do it.
like our events, our.
And basically
met all
around
my
that
friends.
around that time of like the ugly sweater party, I'd say I started just like, you know, like, okay, I need to find a job in Tampa because I'm moving in Tampa. Concept of supersymmetry.
No. Okay. I can't really remember where we left off.
After the third
The
date.
third date. Okay, so we did some other dates and stuff after
My
that, and
teeth
went to some
killing me.
concerts. And oh, your teeth. Yeah, you got your
My teeth are
You
freaking
got
killing me.
you got your teeth pulled.
2 teeth
And
pulled.
then- Anyway, we're not gonna like go through every single one of our dates because
Yeah.
obviously we can't even really remember everything. But he came to meet my family around Christmas because Millie, Hillary, and Melanie were here over Christmas. So he came to meet them
was the
on
22nd.
Sunday.
It's the Sunday before.
December, whatever Sunday before.
Written down. Written down.
Yes,
We'll
it's
take a
written.
quick
I know
look.
we have like planners
So
and
we
everything.
know,
We're like writing
we
everything
know
down.
exactly when.
Oh no, I didn't have this planner though at that time.
I have it written
He has
down.
it written in his letter.
One of us has it written down.
It's somewhere written down.
It's written down somewhere.
I mean, you could just look at a calendar and look at the date of the calendar.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
it'll
sure.
say what. Sunday the 22nd,
Yes.
you were right.
I was right.
He was right. So he came to
Dinner
meet
with the family
my-
and 4 out of 5 siblings.
Yes.
That's what I wrote down. It's
Well,
like,
you'd met Mikey before that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Did you meet my parents before that or no?
No, that was me meeting your parents.
So when did you meet Mikey?
No, wait, did I?
So
meet-
maybe that was the first time you were
that was
meeting
the first time I
everyone.
met Mikey. Yeah, it was just everyone was there. Yeah. It was
No, you had to have met my parents. You met them before because you came for the ugly sweater party. No, but you didn't meet my dad.
No.
Oh, you didn't meet them.
No, didn't we?
You met me. You came.
We met at
Yeah.
the Ugly Sweater.
You were gonna
Party.
come here,
I
but
was,
then you didn't.
But
Because
then
there was
traffic was garbage, and I-4 cursed.
Okay. So anyway, he came to meet my
I-4
family.
is garbage.
So how was meeting my family?
It was amazing. I was only the tiniest bit nervous, but I knew. I mean, if they raised you, then I mean they're pretty okay.
Aww, they're pretty okay.
Pretty okay. At least pretty okay. And then I met them, and they're pretty awesome.
Yeah. So they all loved him. Everybody got along. We played some games. We hung out. I made dinner. What did I make?
Delicious. You made.
Did I make the broccoli chicken
stir fry? Yes.
Classic. Crowd favorite.
Yes.
So yeah, so he met my family and they all loved him and he loved them, and then, well, I mean, you know, got along. Like he fits in. He fits in. So that was good. That was important. I was like, oh no, like how's he gonna? Because my family can be pretty crazy, and I have a lot of siblings. And obviously he likes crazy.
Crazy's good. Crazy's
so
fun.
Good. So then I went to go meet his parents 3-ish weeks later, January 19th.
I think it was about.
Well, I met them
about
January
4
18th.
weeks ago. Yeah,
well, technically, I guess it was because we had a concert. Well, there was a concert in Tampa,
Yeah,
so he came to Tampa on Saturday the 18th. Then we drove to his parents' house. They live on the other side of Florida, so we drove like 3 hours, 2 hours. 2 hours.
We made
It's not
it
that
about
far
2
away.
hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like 2 hours. The concert ended at 10.
Speed limit's like 2.5.
We got to his parents at like midnight, so we talked for a little bit, and then we were tired, so we like went to bed.
We were like,
And then, but it was funny. Like when I met his dad, like we were meeting, he's like, "Oh, welcome aboard," and I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Aboard.
It's just so funny. I was like, "Welcome aboard."
I think he had just come back from.
He's a pilot.
He's
so,
a pilot, so he just
yeah.
probably just came back from a trip,
Like,
and he was just thinking,
welcome,
"Oh,
like,
welcome aboard."
But
the
I just thought it was
plane."
funny. He was like, "Welcome aboard," like welcome. I was like, "Oh, thanks." It was cute. And then, so the next morning, I went to his church with him. And then
we had Community
Day, Pokemon Go. We went to a park and we were walking around.
Like Yola.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And then we went back.
And then we
hung
back
out
and
with my parents
hung out with his parents and his grandma.
way too late.
Until
Because we didn't leave there until like 8. So we didn't get back to your place until like 10.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I didn't leave here until like 11. So
He did
I didn't
a
get
lot of
back
driving.
until like midnight.
So much driving.
Yeah, it was
I can't believe he does all that driving for me. It's just I can't.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm
getting all
so I know. Whoever's watching this, they're gonna be like, these people are crazy.
We cringe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care.
So yeah, I love his parents. They're so sweet, so nice. His grandma, she gave me some puzzles. It was so cute. Because when we met them, I was talking to her about doing puzzles, and then she gave Colin some puzzles to give to me, and I was like, it just melted my heart.
I remember
like,
Christmas.
She picked these out specifically for me.
I remember Christmas. We were talking about puzzles, but we were talking about 2 different kinds of puzzles. Remember that?
Wait.
Because I got those brain teaser
Oh
ones.
yeah, I was talking about jigsaw puzzles, and he had.
I was
these,
talking about like things
weird,
that are in
the ones where you have to like you have
like
the
metal
rings
are intertwined, and you
gotta
gotta get them undone. Like those are my kind of puzzle.
Yes.
But I also like the jigsaw kind of puzzle.
Yeah, which
as well.
we were doing one right here. 2,000 piece puzzle we're working on. So
I'll get those rookie
we should
numbers
work on that a little bit. Well, we might get carried away because we could spend hours. We literally spent like 2 hours this morning doing that. So.
We just spent like an hour and a half looking at our planners.
Yeah, what time is it? Yeah. Okay. So I guess there's not really much else.
It's just been
We've just been
hanging out, doing fun stuff.
Yeah, falling more in love every day. You know, we're gonna get married one day.
It's so nice to know.
It is like just being so sure, so certain. Like I have never been so
big
certain
difference.
about anything in my entire life, but I'm like 110% sure.
Yeah.
That like this is real.
Because like, I've had committed relationships before where I'm like, sometimes
you're like, yeah, like I can
it'll
see.
be okay. We just gotta do X, Y, Z thing and figure ourselves out or whatever. It's like as soon as I saw you, I was just like.
It just clicked. Like something was like, yep, this is finally it.
Like,
because I've been
now I have
like,
to buy a ring.
I've had boyfriends. And I've had boyfriends in the past in like serious relationships, and I thought I was in love, but I didn't really know what love was. There was always something in the back of my mind, like, how do you know how do you know that it's the person you're gonna marry? How do you know? Like, that's a scary thought, thinking you're gonna spend the rest of your life with someone. How can you be so sure of that? And I never understood until I met him, and then I was like, they say you know when you know, and I was like, I know.
Yeah, you know.
There's no other way to explain it. You just know. Like, I don't know how else to say it. But yeah, it's been amazing.
It's been amazing.
It's been amazing. So yeah, that is our story. Well, the
So
beginning,
far.
like our beginning of our story. You know, I'm gonna try to start vlogging sort of regularly from now on. So we'll see how that goes.
I'll be in them on occasion.
He'll be in them. Yeah.
You know, I have more weeks where I'm just
Our
here.
adventure. We had this
all
whole
days.
list of things that we're supposed to do. Well,
The
now
list, dude,
the
the
list has
list.
been put on hold because of this whole coronavirus situation. That's a whole nother story. I kind of wish I had been vlogging during this because
I didn't see you at all this past week.
yeah, this whole
And
week.
I was dying. I was like,
It was rough. It was a rough week. But now, well, yeah. Okay. I guess that's it for this
about
then.
it.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
I gotta go drive home.
Goodbye.